I'm standing in the back bedroom of my daughter's house, and there's a big closet on the other side of this wall. The bathroom that I remodeled is to the right of me. I didn't take any video of the closet before I started because my original intent was to open up this wall, put in a sliding barn door to access the closet and transform it into a master closet. But after gutting the interior of the closet, I discovered a window that had been drywalled over, and that made me realize that it was originally a bedroom. So I had to decide whether to continue with my plan and make it into a master closet accessible from the bedroom, transform it back into a bedroom, or leave it as open space and maybe put in a little fireplace to create a cozy upstairs room to read or watch TV. I figured I'd get a better return with a third bedroom, so that's what I decided to do. This one wall in the closet had been built out with 2x4s and was covered with 1/4-inch plywood as opposed to everything else that was plaster. After removing the plywood, I realized there was a window that had been covered up with the glass painted black. The reason I didn't realize there was a window there already is because there's only about 18 inches of space between this house and the next one, so it's hard to see because the space is blocked off on both ends of the house. There's some knob and tube wiring that I need to remove and replace with NMD wiring. I'm going to start by leveling the ceiling by adding some 2x4s to bring everything down to the lowest point of the old joist. And then I'll frame along the brick wall so that I can insulate it. It was insulated already, but only a part of the wall had been built out, so I decided to redo the entire wall. I removed the window and replaced it with a new window that would be more energy efficient. I moved the doorway to the bedroom inward a bit because the old door was too close to the other bedroom door. This would leave enough room to have proper casing around both doors. I cut the jack studs so that the header would be 82 inches up from the subfloor. After I added new 3/4-inch hardwood flooring and a 3/4-inch head jamb, that will leave 80.5 inches for an 80-inch door. And this door will be 30 inches wide, so the opening is 31.5 inches to leave enough room for the side jambs. Next to the door, I'm adding a closet that's 36 inches wide, and I'll make it about 28 inches deep, which is deeper than a standard closet, but I needed extra depth to make room for the light switches inside the bedroom doorway. I'm using 1/2-inch plywood between the two 2x4s to pad them out to be the same width as 2x4s when rotated 90 degrees. This closet is using up some of the space that was formerly the hallway closet, but only a portion of it because the new hallway is wider than what it was before. If you remember from the bathroom remodel videos, I had moved the other bedroom door inward, so it would have been too difficult to move large pieces of furniture in and out of that room from a narrow hallway. So I'm angling the rest of the bedroom wall inward from the closet to the other bedroom door to make it easier to get around that corner. This house used to have radiators for heating, but this updated HVAC duct was installed in the 1980s and ran downstairs through the old hallway closet wall, so I'll need to move it to the new closet wall. I've run all of the wires and labeled the ends to make it easier to remember what's what when I go to connect them. In this box, I'm putting a switch for a ceiling fan and a dimmer switch for some LED lights that I'll be putting in the ceiling. Before I cover everything up with drywall, I'm going to run a vent pipe downstairs to vent the kitchen drain. I plan on starting on a kitchen remodel in a few months. And I'll connect this vent pipe over to the main stack before I drywall the hallway ceiling. Now it's time to start all the drywalling. I'm outside in the hallway just to show how I handled the angle that goes to the other bedroom door. I simply cut a vertical line, bent the drywall around the angle, and then taped the joint. There are two switches that I put in the hallway. One is for the hallway light, and the other one is a three-way switch to control the living room lights downstairs. I'm going to change the hallway light to be a three-way switch so that the hallway lights can also be controlled from downstairs, but I'll do that using the Lutron Caseta wireless system that doesn't require any special wiring. It's very easy. Next, I'm using a panel lift to help me install the bedroom ceiling. I've already run the wires for the ceiling fan and the LED lights, so I'll cut the 3-inch holes for each of the ceiling lights and then I'll get them all connected. and everything works. Now I just have to finish up the corner area. I'm going to use this space for a small desk and shelves. I'm putting in wiring for a light switch that will control an LED strip under the shelf above the desk, and I'm running some low voltage wire that will run from the transformer that I'll mount under the desk up to the LED strip. The drywall has all been taped, mudded, sanded, and painted at this point, and now I'm installing the window jambs and the casing. I've made the jambs and the stool out of hickory, which I like because it's very hard and very inexpensive. I made all of the casing from 3/4 inch MDF that I've painted white. Similar to the other bedroom that I finished a year ago, I'm putting in a craftsman style casing. I have barely enough room for my nail gun, so I'm gluing this top piece and then I'll clamp it after tacking it in place with a couple of brad nails. Now it's time to finish the closet. I've made a couple of wooden blocks to hold the closet rod. I've positioned the holes in the blocks so that there's enough clearance above to get the hangers in and out after I put a shelf on top. I have a piece of poplar for the top jamb, which I had intended to paint the same as the wall color, but my daughter and I both like the look of the natural wood, so we'll leave it like that. This piece of poplar is only 4 inches wide to intentionally leave a reveal rather than trying to make it flush with the drywall. I don't have the hardwood floor installed yet, so I'll use a 3/4 inch piece of poplar temporarily for the door installation. I'll remove the door when I put down the floor, but this way everything will be installed correctly. Now I'll install the door track for the bifold door, and then I'll put it in place. Next, I'll install the shelf that I made. I made it with 3/4 inch red oak plywood, and I put a 1 1/4 inch strip of hickory along the front and back edges. Next, I'm going to install some smoke detectors from Xsense. I like these because they come in a 3-pack and they communicate wireless with each other. So if there's smoke detected by one of them, all 3 of them will go off. I'm putting this one in the back bedroom. I'll put the second one in the hallway at the top of the stairs just outside the other 2 bedrooms. And I'll put the 3rd smoke detector in the kitchen next summer when I finish up that room. Here's a final look at what was a closet that's now perfect for a kid's bedroom or a home office. That's a piece of the flooring that I'll be using. I just have one more bedroom to finish up here, and then I'll put new hardwood throughout. I got a little ceiling fan from Amazon that is a perfect size for this room. And in the corner you can see the desk and shelves that I made. I'll show more detail about how I made that in an upcoming video. So that's it. Thanks for watching.